Hello there guys, and welcome to another Minecraft Redstone video. Today I have a video on a game that I've made in Minecraft. Now I'm sure quite a few of you have heard of it at least, if not have played it themselves, but this is Lights Out in Minecraft. Now it has been done before, but not to this size. Yes, that's right, I've compacted it further than I can find on the internet today. So, the premise of Lights Out is that you've got to try and turn off all of the lights on this board. Now this is the classic size of a 5x5 grid, and this is what the original game came out with. Now the thing that makes it difficult is that when you press down any cell, that cell also affects its 4 adjacent neighbours, so the ones right on the border of it. And so because of this, it makes it it makes it a lot harder to solve it rather than any other rules. So you can see here, whenever I push the middle one, it'll affect the 4 next to it as well as the middle one. So in effect, it toggles its neighbours as well as toggling itself. And as you can see, I've just done a couple of moves and it already looks quite messed up. But luckily enough, there's a reset button built in, just like that. Excellent. So a little bit how this works. As soon as you step on the pressure plate, there is a piece of redstone dust here, which will power this upside down piston, and also this torch will turn off 1 tick later. This is actually a falling edge monostable circuit, so when the power turns off here, it'll allow this piston to retract for 1 tick before this torch turns on and forcing it to extend again. In that time, there's enough for a pulse to come out and toggle this sticky piston, so whether it will push up and leave the cauldron up here, or whether it will pull down and leave the cauldron here. Depending on that, that's whether these lights are turned on, and that indicates whether the cell is on or off. Now, because the 4 neighbours don't matter on whether it's turned to an on position or an off position, they just require a change of state. And so we take that from this redstone torch here. Now, because the difference in delays between extending and retracting, I've used a torch burnout here to limit the pulse to only being 1 tick. And yeah, it's pretty cool how it works. But anyway, so what this torch does is it sends out a pulse to the left and to the other left, I guess, as well, and that sends out in enough of all 4 directions to be able to power the other ones. Now if we have a look inside here, you can see how these line up. So here's this output torch here. Actually getting one in further would be better. So this output torch pushes one across to here into this next cell. It pushes one back into this previous cell. It pushes one forward over here. This comes from this top one, goes through, and if you're coming back the other way, there is this line of redstone here. So that's the way that we get it to send to all 4 of its neighbours. Now, these are all solvable as they are, except when you get up to this size, which I dubbed the procrastinator. It's a 10 by 10 grid, equaling 100 different cells that you can press, and that gives you actually a total of 1.2 nonillion combinations that you can have on this grid. And just to put that in perspective, imagine a 1 followed by 30 zeros after it. That's a rather large number. Not to the size of a Google or anything like that, but it's still pretty damn large. But as you can see, all of this works. I can tap on these as I run over them, and you can see I'm doing stuff. So the size of these, each cell is a 4x4 by 7 tileable cell, including the pressure plate on top. This cell is actually 8 tall, because it includes a reset with it. If you don't want the reset, you can chop out everything on this layer. But it's a bit easier when it has got a reset on the bottom. It's tileable. The 4x4 cell is tileable, but you do need to make sure you've got at least one repeat. You've got to have one repeater on each side. So you can see over here, I've had to put in repeaters here, and this is to stop this repeater pushing power to this one, pushing power to this one, pushing power, and which would make it just chain on, which is not what you want to do. So this makes it point in rather than pointing across. But other than that, it is 4x4 tileable. As you can see, it's tiled out like that. I don't think there's anything else to say, so I'll just show you solving the 5x5 puzzle. If you don't want to see the solution, I advise that you look away right now because you will see it. This is just one of the possible solutions. There's actually 5 solutions for this 5x5 grid. There's usually one solution, but for some of them there's upwards of 100 and 200 solutions for the larger grids, and they're unique solutions as well. But anyway, here's the solution. So you work on this one, come across, 3 across here, next rows 4 across here, and you can see I can do this at running pace, 3 across here, and yeah, this running pace is fine, it won't clog up the machine at all. And once I've done that circle, you can see that there's lights outs. So I've successfully solved this one. If you're still watching, if you've got a lot of spare time, try solving that one. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed. That will be the end of the video. This map will be in the description as well if you would like to download it. I forgot to mention that earlier. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. And until next time, I shall catch you guys later. Goodbye.